Hi ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Green here. This is another in my series on Algebra 2. We are continuing to slug our way through Unit 6. After that marathon session last time, I thought I would make this one a little bit closer, a little bit shorter. So stay with me a little bit. It should go pretty quickly today. Okay? We're going to take up the second part of operations with rational numbers. And if we were doing addition and subtraction last time, you can well imagine we're doing multiplication this time. Multiplication of fractions is so much easier because all you've got to do is multiply straight across. You don't ever have to do anything that is difficult. You just multiply them straight across and you get it. Now, you do have to simplify at the end, so that's the big trick there. Okay? Now I want you to look at this one. If I'm multiplying and I know I'm going to be simplifying at the end, I would go ahead and cancel anything that I see as common between the top and the bottom. Well, there's a common h there. It's going to go away. There's a common h minus 7. It's going to go away. And what am I going to be left with? 3 divided by h minus 2 and h plus 8. Wow. Okay? I think I got that one really very quickly. That was really simple to do. Now, does it make any difference if you leave it in this format or if you go ahead and extend it out into that format like this? And that's what this tip over here is saying. There's really not any difference between the two. They're both in their most simplified forms at this point. Okay? Now, would I recommend one over the other? I recommend this one because if you're going to be doing other operations like multiplying or maybe even doing something different, you are going to want to have them in factored form so that you can play with them. Okay? And it will help you if you leave it in that form. But they're both good answers, so I wouldn't complain about either one of them. Okay? Looking at this one, multiplying. We're going to multiply straight across. I'm not going to change anything at all. Well, you know what? I am going to look at the factors of this one, though. 6x squared comes out of both of these, and I get an x minus 5. That's interesting, because if I take a 2x out of this one up here, I get an x minus 5. And those cancel each other out. Well, that's interesting. You know, a 2x cancels into this 6x squared, leaving me with an x on the bottom. Well, that's really nice. That's going to help a lot. But look at this one. This one is 4 and 2 and x and negative 4 and positive 2. Guess what? This x plus 2 cancels into that one. Oh, wow. This is getting canceled a lot. And it's going to turn out to be 1 divided by x minus 4 times x. Where did I get that x from? The x was right here. It didn't get canceled out. Okay? X minus 4 didn't get canceled out. Everything on the top got canceled out, so it became a 1 x over x, 1 over x times x minus 4. Okay. Final answer. Simplified form. I'm simplifying as I'm going when I'm multiplying. Oh, but division is so much harder. See how we got this division sign there? And when we divide fractions, we know what we got to do. We've got to invert, don't we? We've got to take the top and make it the bottom. And we've got to take the bottom and make it the top, because that's the way you have to do fractions. So this becomes 5 times x minus 2. And I know I'm going to be multiplying, so I'm just going to write it down. X times x plus 12 divided by, and that's going to be x plus 12. Wait a second, that sounded familiar. X plus 3, okay, 15, and x minus 2. That sounds familiar too. There's an x minus 2 on the numerator and denominator. They cancel out. There's an x plus 12 in the numerator and denominator. They cancel out. There's a 15 and a 5. Well, that goes to a 1. That goes to a 3. And what am I left with? Well, 1 times x on the numerator, x, divided by 3 times x plus 3. Wow. Those actually do work so much faster than the subtraction problems, because those subtraction problems are so difficult. Yeah, that common denominator. It hurts you every time. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go ahead and factor the top, because I can see right away. I've got a p plus 4, p minus 4, That's called a difference of squares. That's what this is right here. Okay? And I'm going to factor the bottom down there. I've got a 2p plus 1 and a 2p plus 1. That's what the denominator factored is. Why? 2p times 2p, that's 4p squared. 2p and 2 plus 2p gives me the 4p. 1 times 1 gives me the 1. Okay? Times, well, I'm going to factor out a 3p out of this. And it's going to be a p plus 1. 2p plus 1. Well, that's nice. That'll cancel into that. Okay? And when I divide this by, let's see here, factoring this one as I'm going. 2p, okay. Okay, let's see here. 4 and 1. Let's see here. 4 and 1. That'd be a negative, that'd be a positive. That gives me 8p, and p gives me 7p. Yep, that's what it is. P minus 4. P minus 4. P minus 4. There it is. Okay? And I got, still got a p plus, okay. That gives me a 3p on top. See right here. And a p plus 4. That's right over here. And then on the bottom, I've got a 2p plus 1. And there's actually to the second power. And that is my final answer. Just going back and thinking, what would be my domain on this one? Well, it can't be equal to 0 on the bottom, so 2p plus 1 equals 0. That means 2p equals negative 1p equals negative 1/2. 1/2. So that means I've got 2 points right there, okay, because it's squared. Okay, so that means p equals negative 2. So my domain would be all values x such that x is not equal to negative 1/2. That would be the only thing I couldn't include in my domain. Okay? Well, having scaffolded that just a little bit, remember, make certain you always tell me your course name when you're sending me K-mails. It really does help, keeps things in order, get the answers to you a lot quicker. Sorry about last lesson. Hopefully this one went a little bit faster. I'll talk to you later.